Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show. Our next session with Eve, we're trying to get her to move her hips and her shoulders and be soft in her neck so that we can get her to do a diagonal path for a half pass. And it's a rainy, windy, stormy day in Santa Cruz, so we're in my square pen. And I'm making do, as I usually do. I'm using some stools instead of my poles. I've got 2 arm extensions because I'm hoping, especially in my side saddle, that I won't have to use leg pressure. I still have good days and bad days, and after riding my Western saddle, last time with Eve, I didn't have any pain, so I'm glad. I'm leaving well enough alone. I understand that it takes like a whole year after a hip replacement to trust your tissue and your muscles and so forth. So I'm not surprised that I have good days and bad days. I have testimonials from other people my age who have had hip replacement who are going through or have gone through the same thing. Now, we only have 2 people on our team. Can you hold these? And I'm using my Pirelli rope halter here in the square pen. I don't want to put undue pressure on Eve. Not with a bit, not with a side pull. Pirelli rope halter is essentially a hackamore with just ropes. No lariats. No lariat material. When I'm in my square pen, I have one person here to help me if I'm having trouble. So I'm trying to be as gentle as I can and yet within parameters of safety. Okay, so you got her. I'm stepping up here on a crate, which I should have something better, and I will work on it. Oh, it's not high enough. No. I'll tell you what, the crate isn't going to work. I need to be higher. I've been using step-ups in my arena and barrels. Yeah. So I'm going to hold Eve, but I want you to watch while I'm doing that. You can move this into that stall. And let's just use one of these stools.
Okay.
See if that works.
Yeah, just be careful because they are
yeah. I'm going to try to buy one more step up here for my square pen. It's the beginning of winter, so I haven't been using it very much. It's been, I don't know if I ever got up onto my side saddle here. Let's see if that works. Why am I doing this anyway? Why am I doing it in a side saddle? You can go to her head again. And I'll tell you why. I got a YouTube comment from one of my shows about side saddle that says, based on the way Eve was dancing around, it was one of the first times I ever put the side saddle on her, had no idea really what I was doing other than what I had watched on other YouTubes. She told me from watching my YouTube video that she thinks the saddle doesn't fit Eve. And I said, well, I don't think that was the problem. So I'm just letting you see. You're right, this isn't very. Give me a hand. It's all right, Evie. It's all right. Okay, I'm on a stool. I should get a better step up soon. Oh, but I can't get over here.
Don't get the white chair.
I don't know if that'll be high enough either.
I got on yesterday.
Yeah, but that was I got on yesterday, but that was with my astride saddle. See if you can get Eve to come over just ever so slightly. With your arm extension, standing there, a couple steps over. You know, all of this is seeing whether or not.
Over. Oh.
Good. Good, Evie. A little more with her shoulder.
Over. Over. Over.
I think we're okay. Let's see if we're a little forward. A small step forward.
Step up.
Step up.
Step up. Up.
Oh, good. Good. How do you get up on a side saddle? The stirrup is so high when you've got legs that you don't quite trust yet. think the bottom line is a barrel or a proper step up. Let's see if we can get her over a little bit. But see, she's not dancing around. She's being good. The barrel, yeah, but they're filled with water and they're heavy. So no, let's keep trying to get Eve over. If that's all we do today, that's okay.
Shoulders.
Yeah, well, whatever it takes to get her in position. Step forward.
Step up.
Whoa.
Hold.
Step up.
Step up. Eve.
Whoa. Good. Boy, that feels good. Not high enough. So, okay, I'm going to come back down. But she's doing great. She's not dancing around like this saddle doesn't fit her. Pressure. Okay. Okay. I'm going to get a proper step up. You can go out and get the chair, but I doubt that that'll be high enough.
Chair to barrel if we want.
The chair and the barrel. All right, go ahead. Let me discuss with you what I'm observing. Eve is fine. It's a stormy, windy day. She's all wet, but with the saddle pad, we felt comfortable putting the saddle on her. But she's not dancing around. It's not like this thing isn't fitting her properly. We put it on as best as we know how, including, let me show you, this back cinch, which of course, it doesn't crisscross in an astride saddle, but in a side saddle, I believe it does crisscross, and I think we've done it correctly. Okay, come on in. The barrels that I use here in my square pen are filled with water, so he would have to accept the fact that Scott is going to roll it over here. Let's see how she does. Back. In the meantime, I'm asking her to move with small steps. Here you go. Soon it will be in camera's view if it isn't already. Eve sees it. Watch her body language. She's not running away or acting spooky. She has quite a bit of confidence in me. But, of course, you can get right brain. A little farther, put it right in front of the chair. Okay. All right, now let's get Eve lined up again. Letting her see all these obstacles. Okay, can we get her? Step up, forward.
Step up.
And here are my arm extensions. I'll give them to Scott. Come on up, closer.
Step up.
We have all this figured out in our obstacles area,
Step up.
in the arena, with the proper tools.
Over.
Yeah, good. A little bit more forward.
Step up.
No, I think it's good.
Up.
I think it's good. Give me a hand. Up front here. This barrel is filled with water, so it's not likely to tip. Now I'm high enough. Give me the reins over her head. The reins are just yacht rope reins.
It's okay. Okay. Hey.
Come on forward. Step up. Give me an arm extension. Step up. Step up.
Hey.
Okay, use one to get her hips over. Slowly, we hope. It's all right. Wait, she's getting a little right brain. Give her time.
It's okay. It's okay.
Step up. Step up.
Step up.
Whoa, good. A little more over.
Over.
Whoa, good.
Oh.
Commitment. Am I going to commit? over to get this stirrup, which is very high. Can you help me by holding it over? Get the right sits bone back on the... I'm feeling this a little bit on my left leg thigh. And you know what I want to do? I'm just not going to use the stirrup.
Okay. Sure.
Nope. You asked me if I'm sure. I'm just doing it as best I can. You can leave the barrel, but let's see. Let's see. Yeah, stay with me. No, just leave everything. I want to see if I can get her to move by looking where I want to go. Because what I eventually want to do in this side saddle is get her to arc around my leg with her neck, with her hips, and yet walk on a diagonal with crossover on the front legs. And in that way, have achieved a half pass with her in a side saddle. Okay, you know what I'm going to do for today? I'm going to ask Scott just to lead her. I want to see how I feel in this side saddle. Whether or not she's going to be a good girl, I'm going to just listen to my instructions. Step up, E. Step up. Okay, I'm going to G. Good. Let's go towards the camera. Figure 8. It's all right. Then I'm going to, when I get closer, I'm going to hop. Hop. Looking where I want to go. Let's go around the stool. We're out of camera view, but she's just walking around the stool, which in fact is like a pole. Let's do another figure 8. We'll be coming into camera's view. Good. Look where I want to go. Good, Eve. Gee, she's good about going over her haunches. Let's go back up to the camera. I'm feeling quite secure in this saddle. Whoop. Got a long ways to go though, because it's very, very different than riding astride, and I'm doing things in it that I do generally do astride. So we're set up now. We know what we want to do next time. And I'll tell you what, this stirrup, because of my left leg, that's where my hip replacement was, is awfully high for me. And I have a stirrup that I could add to it to give a place for my leg. Can you point to my boot here? Yeah, to give a place for my leg so that I won't be lifting my left leg higher than I want to. So, and yet have a place to park my left leg. And can I have that arm extension? And what I want to do for a while, it's been almost 6 months since I've had my hip replacement, but I want to give it another 6 months to not overuse the muscles in my legs, to not twist them. I'm going to train Eve, especially when I'm in side saddle, to listen to the tap of these arm extensions. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the barrel. Step up, looking where I'm going, trying to get my right sits bone in the right place. Good, good, Eve. And a little more, one step forward. There you go. And she's being good for me. I showed you the whole thing from start to end. Yeah, I'm slow. Yeah, I'm uneasy. Yeah, I'm not exactly balanced. But with repetition, watch me get better and better in the next 6 months. Every time we use the side saddle, or an astride saddle, or no saddle. I'm just being very cautious after this hip replacement surgery to honor my hip and give it a chance to connect properly to the tissues of my body, and yet to go on with everything that I love to do with my ranch versatile Morgan horses. And that's all for today. I'm trying to give Eve every opportunity to give me a half pass, all the bits and pieces, the prerequisite skills needed for a half pass, without pulling on her mouth, without using spurs, giving her every opportunity to understand my cues and give me the correct answer, because she'd love to know what the correct answer is. It's just kind of complicated. Now, there's only 2 of us on the team today. This is a good time to try it, Scott. Why don't you leave the camera on us? I want Scott to be at the head. There's a nice long yacht rope lead line here. He's going to hold my arm extensions so that I can use my leg cues as little as possible. For the next 6 months, I'm trying to carefully exercise with my legs after 6 months ago, my hip replacement, but not too much, because it takes at least a year after a hip replacement to expect your body to adjust to the prosthesis. It's all right, Eve. It's all right. Even though I have Scott at the head, I'm going to make sure the reins are nearby in case Eve decides to walk off. I think that the stirrup is going to be long enough, but if not, we have a stirrup extension. Yesterday it was kind of short. I didn't want to bend my leg that much. Scott, be ready to move this. But I noticed today that there were a whole bunch of holes I could use to lengthen it. Good girl, Eve. Now I'm going to put my right leg over the horn of the side saddle, but if she moves away, it could be pretty bad. Let's see. Evie, she's being distracted. Not. I think we need to get her hip over a little bit, so I'm going to go down. These are things that not everybody's going to have to deal with. But if you've had a hip replacement and want to use a side saddle, you might want to see it. Over.
Over.
A little more.
Over.
Good.
Good girl.
Good, Eve. We're teaching her small steps. Over. And she's been pretty good about it. Can you hold this ladder? Almost. Oh, nope. Yeah, don't let go yet. She moved a little bit with her shoulders. She doesn't quite understand how hard this is for me. She will with repetition. Whoa, whoa. Okay, now move the ladder. Okay. Yesterday, I just didn't use the stirrup at all. Let's see if you can help me put my foot in the stirrup. I think it's long enough now. It is. It is. I don't need my stirrup extension, which I was going to use. My arm extensions, and go ahead and give me that. These lines can be put in your belts, around the horn. But I'll wait for Scott to come back here. I actually, and especially because the wind is on and off, I actually want to just walk up and down this driveway with Scott at the head. Make sure I feel balanced. This morning I watched Clinton Anderson work with a lady that was in a wheelchair. And when she first started riding after her accident, she needed people to hold her at her hips. But then after a little bit of practice, she was able to balance, and she just needed people to hold her legs at her ankles. And she was getting better and better to feel comfortable, balanced. Here comes that wind again. And that's why I want Scott at the head. And because I want to make sure I feel the balance. Now, Scott, I'm going to go forward, and then we're gonna do a small figure 8. Step up, Eve. Step up. And I'm going to look to my left. Good. Eve knows to go over her haunches if it's a tight turn. Now I'm going to go to the left again. Look to my left, keeping my sits bone properly on the side saddle. Whoa. Asking Eve to stop. Now remember, I only have a rope halter, which is like a Pirelli hackamore on. I'm trying to stay off her mouth, off her nose. I want her to understand when I'm asking for her to move her body parts in certain places, in certain directions while she's moving her feet. I want her to do that without pulling on her mouth. So, Scott, I think that you can give me that line, which I am just going to, wait a minute. You can just stay here. I want you to stay close by. Can you wrap it around her neck and come back up to me? It's a long 12-foot yacht rope line that's attached to the Pirelli rope halter hackamore, and a little bit of a piece hanging on this side. That's good. Okay, now I'm going to ask Scott to do the same thing as a join-up. That is, we're not going to be connected to the lead line in his arm. We're just going to let Eve get the security of having him there. And Julie Goodnight yesterday on RFD TV had a coat breaking, a new horse, 4-part series. And when they actually started riding the horse in the 4th part, they had a helper, just like Scott, going with the horse at the head. And that was only because they wanted the horse to be confident. So I'm going to do the same thing, Scott, and you're going to go along with me. Okay, sits bones, balance, look where I'm going. Step up, step up. Good. And then we're going to do a look to the left. Good, good. She seems real calm. Okay, now I'm going to do look to the left again. She got distracted. Whoa. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to ask Scott to be nearby, but kind of, go off a ways. So she knows you're there. Step up. Ooh, the wind stopped nicely for me. That was nice. Same circle. Good. Now I'm going to try to go towards that pole. Step up. Good. In a straight path. Whoa. And Scott, you stay nearby in case something spooks her. She's just waiting. She's waiting for me to give her her next command. Okay, I'm going to ask her to go over her haunches back towards the other pole. Why am I going from pole to pole? It gives me a straight path. It gives me the opportunity to break down this half-pass maneuver that I'm trying to master into small steps. Come on along with us, Scott. Now, as we come back, I'm going to ask Eve, I'm putting a little bit of pressure. See, she's getting riled up, but I'm asking her with my leg, whoa, to bend around my leg so that her front end and her back end are kind of in a bow shape. She said, oh, why are you giving me pressure? She didn't quite understand, so she got a little bit riled and picked up speed. So now this time we're going to do the same thing, but as I come towards this pole, I'm going to apply the pressure, and I'm going to ask her with this arm extension, just a tap, to keep her head flexed to my left. I want to see the outside of her inside eyeball. And then I know I'll at least have that flexion. Then how am I going to get her to understand that her hips have to be flexed to the left too? I don't think I've got that all figured out today. So we'll just do it one step at a time. Okay, come on along with me again. Nice. Looking where I want to go. Whoa. Now you see, she interpreted my cues as going off to the left, when actually, if her foot pattern was correct for a half pass, I could have and should have gotten her to aim in a straight path to that pole and cross over with her front legs. So, at least I know that that's what I want to work on. I'm going to ask her now to back up, back, looking over her ears, back. Good, good. Whoop. Whoop. As a join up, come along with us and stay just off a little bit. And now I'm going to ask her to go towards the pole with her front end. So I'm laying the yacht rope rein on the left side of her neck, and she understood that. Remember, there's no bit in her mouth, no rawhide across her nose. Nothing except a rope halter and a little knot under it. Okay, now, how am I going to get her? Maybe if I put my left foot a little bit farther forward, just standing here, get her to, I see the outside, yes, yes, down I go. Do you see that little bit of an arc we have at her neck? Now, can I keep that arc at her neck? Can I see the outside of her inside eyeball? Can I ask her, without applying any more pressures, to just go forward and keeping my balance in my side saddle, looking at my pole? Whoa, nope. She still went off to the left. Let me back her up again. If we do this enough, she'll understand that's not quite the right answer. Come on with, Scott. Check the cinch, would you? Is it still tight?
Yeah, I think it's actually a little looser than it.
A little looser, yeah. Okay, well, we're making this a short session anyway. I'm so glad we have some sun and the wind died down. Let me get that arc again, a little bit forward. Whoop. I got to keep that right sits bone in the right place on the saddle, or I feel like I'm going to fall forward. Right now I feel balanced. I see the outside of her inside eyeball. She's licking her lips. You know, I think Craig Cameron was doing something on RFD yesterday about picking up leads, and he said, yeah, if you're trying to do a left lead, pick your right rein up. So let's see if I can use my right rein, get that, whoa, just a couple steps. I got her to go towards the pole. I still saw the outside of her inside eyeball. I picked the right rein up and tugged on it a little bit, but I asked for forward motion. And I got tiny baby step correct answer. And I'm just going to leave it at that for today. Look at Eve. She's relaxed. We've figured out how to deal with the tack, a ladder, using the least bit of pressure possible to get the right answer. See more at www.urbancowgirlchannel.com.